Do you know who X-23 is? Well, imagine a younger female version of the enigmatic Wolverine that we all know and love, and bam! We have Laura Kinney, otherwise known as X-23, who was created from Wolverine's genes itself. She has Wolverine's signature claws and is a badass mutant in general. Notably, she debuted in the X-Men Evolution animated series and has since appeared next to Wolverine on various occasions. In fact, she has also saved his life once. In this video, we'll dive deep into all of her unique powers. Interested? Keep watching. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Her toe claws can be a lethal weapon. We already know that she has adamantium-coated claws in her hand, and this is no surprise to anyone considering she was created from Wolverine's genes. However, there is also something incredibly unique about her toes. Laura has 6 bone claws coated in adamantium in total, 2 in each hand, and well, you guessed it, 1 in each toe. In the comics, her toe claws look incredibly badass, and just like the ones in her hands, these are also coated with adamantium. Many often explain this odd weapon placement using a rather questionable theory that females in the animal kingdom more frequently utilize their legs as weapons. Many don't buy this reasoning, and understandably so, but one simply cannot deny that it does in fact look hella cool. However, if you really think about it, most enemies are not expecting an attack from below, giving Laura an incredible advantage and making her kicks doubly lethal. She can use her toe claws to injure people's ankles, bringing them down before they even stand a chance. She has signs of slow aging. Wolverine is widely known for his healing factor that has kept him young for quite a long time. Thus, it's no surprise that Laura too shows signs of slow aging. Firstly, there's genetics, considering the fact that she was literally created from Wolverine's genes, even though she was made in a lab. It makes sense that she also possesses his unique healing factor. She can rebuild injured or destroyed tissue much faster and more effectively than a regular human because of her rapid healing factor. But the cherry on the cake is that thanks to this, she is also able to slow down the aging of her body, staying younger for far longer in comparison to a regular human being. Fans suspicious that Laura is able to slow down aging were confirmed while she was in the vault, where time passed considerably more swiftly than it did outside of it. She was able to retain some of her youth there for at least 200 years, which is a long time. She is immune to poison. Laura Kinney was created to be a living weapon, and one thing that is often a problem for most in a battle is the use of poisons or chemicals against them. Laura, however, has a major advantage when it comes to this. Because of her innate ability to heal, X-23 is practically immune to poisons and the majority of medications and chemicals. Her immunity is insane. And no, we're not talking about her body simply healing from a large dose of poison. It turns out that doses that would otherwise incapacitate or even be fatal to humans and other mutants seem to have simply no effect on her at all. She is also notably immune to all earthly diseases and infections, making it incredibly tough to bring her down without having to face her in battle. This is definitely a great trick in her arsenal since she does not have to worry about being poisoned to death. What a relief, huh? X-23 is capable of reattaching limbs. Laura's crazy healing factor strikes again. Not only is she immune to poison, chemicals, and earthly diseases, but her healing factor also allows her to perform insane feats of regeneration that most Marvel fans can come to associate with people like Wolverine and Deadpool. Yes, she can literally reattach limbs that have been severed from her body like it's no big deal. She is able to heal all the damaged tissue and the blood loss and seamlessly reattach arms and legs, and once, she even regrew her entire hand all on her own. This is one badass mutant. Her reattached limbs are perfectly functional, pretty much being as good as new because she is able to bond the tissue, muscle, and bone back together without breaking much of a sweat. Now, we do not have to spell out to you why this ability is super helpful, especially during combat. She has unfortunately often suffered horrible injuries, and this ability has really come in clutch. X-23 and her heightened senses. Once again, just like Wolverine, she has incredible senses which are far sharper than the average human and even most mutants. In fact, her senses can be compared to those of most predatory animals. She has a vision that is far superior to that of a regular person in terms of range and clarity. In fact, her clarity of vision is so accurate that she could see a single sentient with her naked eye. She is also able to see with the same amount of clarity in almost complete darkness, making her an asset when it comes to nocturnal missions. In a similar way, her hearing is far enhanced too, enabling her to hear sounds that other people can't hear, as well as hear sounds that are at much greater distances. Further, her sense of smell is also worth mentioning. Over long periods of time, usually spanning over hours, X-23 can successfully trace targets by scent thanks to her exceptional sense of smell, making her an expert tracker. She also has the ability to memorize several scents at once, which helps her find multiple targets. Once she even used her sense of smell to determine that the murder victim had excessive cholesterol. Cool, huh? With her keen senses and ability to easily locate foes as a result of them, X-23 is hands down a formidable adversary. Her durability and stamina are next level. Make no mistake, she might look like a pretty petite girl, but she is, after all, a living weapon, one that is incredibly strong and durable. While her claws help her fight, she is also able to last incredibly long during battle thanks to her superhuman durability and stamina. Coming first to her stamina, when Laura exercises or exerts herself, her muscles produce significantly fewer fatigue toxins than the muscles of a typical person. For about 24 hours, she can exert herself to the fullest before exhaustion starts to affect her. This allows her to fight for a long duration of time without getting tired or losing her edge, which is often an advantage. However, not only does she have super stamina, she also is quite resistant to damage. In fact, once, even though she was needing healing and almost died, she was capable of fighting the Hulk without suffering any major wounds, and even survived energy blasts from Nimrod. Thus, this coupled with her healing and regenerative factor makes her a menace on the battlefield. X-23's Berserker Rage is deadlier than anyone. Wolverine's Berserker mode is well known to his fans, and well, once again, like father, like daughter, Laura has this too. However, X-23's version of the Berserker Rage is slightly different and much more heartbreaking. X-23 was created to have a trigger scent, as opposed to Wolverine's unrestrained wrath, which is almost self-induced and used to annihilate adversaries. The smell transforms X-23 into an unstoppable predator who won't relent until she has slain her prey when it is applied to a target. She has been plagued by the scent for years, and it's also one of the ways she's frequently been seduced by people who want to use her. She went through a lot of heartache and ruin because of it as well, but it has since been fixed. One of the most tragic moments of her life took place when she was in this state. Before Laura met Wolverine, Dr. Kinney was tagged with the trigger smell while trying to release her surrogate daughter by Dr. Xander Rice. The scent rendered X-23 powerless against the instincts that were embedded within her thanks to her unique version of the Berserker Rage, and she murdered the only person who had ever loved her, the scientist who had created her, Sarah Kinney. After being taken down by X-23, Sarah named her Laura and gave her the contact details of Professor X and Wolverine as she passed away in X-23's arms, leaving her to tread her path alone. A horrible fate for a powerful yet frightened young mutant. Her trained skills are often undermined. Laura has undergone various forms of training since she was rather young to hone her innate abilities. She has received expert covert operations training. Having been raised in captivity, X-23 has had considerable training in order to become the dangerous living weapon that she is. She is an assassination expert with extensive training in the use of long-range weaponry and explosives. Further, we have already discussed that Laura is a dangerous tracker and has memorized many different scents thanks to her increased sense of smell. This ability has only gotten better thanks to rigorous training, making her incredibly good at tracking. She's also a master martial artist who has had extensive training in a variety of armed and unarmed martial arts techniques. She excels in hand-to-hand combat, which makes her incredibly tough to take down on the battlefield. Considering the fact that her primary weapons are her claws, she is brilliant at close-range combat. Last but not least, she is also multilingual and speaks American, English, French, and Japanese with surprising ease. This is a girl of many talents. X-23 is resistant to any kind of psychic attack. Okay, we bet you didn't see this one. Laura is resistant to psychic attacks. This power is often associated with mutants with more mental abilities, such as Professor X. But this young woman seems to have it all, at least as far as powers and abilities are concerned. On numerous occasions, X-23 has demonstrated fierce resistance to any attempt to psychically read her mind. The source of this talent, however, is unknown. Although Wolverine has demonstrated this capability on a few occasions as well, it is unknown whether it stems from her inherent mutant propensity, training, or some other alteration to her genes. Even the most powerful telepaths in the world have trouble penetrating her mental barriers due to the strength of her skill. This is not only making it difficult for others to read her thoughts, but it also shields her from telepathic assaults that can disable her or knock her unconscious. An extremely convenient and useful ability to have in a world full of mutants that may or may not be able to break into your mind. Her association with Enigma Force. For those unaware, a god of light known as the Enigma Force is said to have been born when the cosmos first came into being, as a response to the arrival of the dark god Null, to whom it stood in direct opposition. The god of light fought against its opposition for billions of years before realizing that by attaching to numerous people, its strength was too dispersed to be effective against the dark. Thus, a single host was chosen by the god of light to link with and receive its power, and that host became known as Captain Universe. Notably, when the Enigma Force selects a partner, it bestows upon that individual Captain Universe's abilities, memories, and attire. Until the danger is overcome, the companion can employ Dr. Universe's abilities. However, the Uni-Power promptly deserts the partner if they attempt to exploit such abilities for selfish purposes or evil. With this in mind, it's interesting to note that X-23 has a unique and special bond with the Enigma Force. She is one of only a select few mutants that have been selected by the entity to serve as its partner vessel for more than once, and she was also the first mutant to take on the mantle twice. The Enigma Force designated Laura as the successor to its power after the conclusion of their second fight. It then bonded with Laura for the second time when she laid down her life to prevent Valeria Richards from falling under the King's control. Further, in the conclusion of the Killing Dream arc of her solo series, a mark that appeared on the palm of her right hand served as the indication of this ongoing special connection. Laura also possesses various unique skills and abilities in addition to her natural abilities, thanks to her serving as the host of the Enigma Force 2 times. Thus, X-23, or Laura Kinney, is an incredible woman, a mutant with powers that can easily be compared to none other than the much-loved Wolverine. In fact, the similarity of their powers is uncanny. These two also seem to share an incredible bond with each other, which can be seen in various animated series and even comics. However, she also has a dark and tragic past. Last but not least, we have an interesting question for you today. Do you think X-23 is the most dangerous mutant to debut in the 2000s? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.